rehash here. Bethesda's E3 conference was absolutely fantastic. Okay, there were a few bits that I didn't really care for, but they were definitely balanced out by the ones that I did care about and I am super looking forward to. So here are my reactions. Now, I know that this was at the end of the conference, but I'm putting it first because it's the one I want to talk about the most. It's Elder Scrolls 6. It's real, it exists, it's not a pipe dream anymore. I cannot tell you how excited I am for this game. It looks so pretty from the 10-second teaser. Unfortunately, I'm gonna be waiting a really long time because it was announced that it would be after Starfield, which was announced as a next generation console game. So it's way off in the future, but it's so nice to have it confirmed that it's happening. Elder Scrolls, baby, it's a thing. Anyway, there is plenty to keep me occupied until then. Like Starfield, for example, Bethesda's new sci-fi RPG. It looks to be set in space and it looks fabulous. It's so pretty and I'm super looking forward to playing it. As I mentioned earlier though, it is meant to be a game for the next generation of consoles, so we will have a while to wait for it. But I'm pretty certain it will still have that Bethesda quality about it, where it will be an epic spanning universe and it will have a very enthralling story that you can truly lose yourself in. Until then, I guess I'll just have to make do with Fallout 76. Now, this game was the one that was discussed in the most depth during the conference. It is a prequel to all of the other Fallout games. It's set in West Virginia, but this is stuff we already knew from the announcement at Microsoft's conference. What we did learn, though, was that Vault 76 was built to celebrate America's tricentenary, and that it is one of the first vaults to open. It definitely looks like the game is going to start in the vault, very similar to Fallout 3. We also learned that it was going to use all new rendering, lighting, and landscaping technology. Now, this was shown off in the multiple gameplay clips and trailers that we saw, and it looks stunning. This is going to be a very visually appealing game. I could honestly stare at it for days on end, and again, I'm totally down for an art book. There will be 6 unique regions that you can travel through on your quest during Fallout 76, and there are all new creatures, pulling mainly from West Virginian folklore, and I'm pretty certain I saw one that looked like a Wendigo, but don't hold me to that because my cryptozoography is not fantastic. As Fallout 76 is a multiplayer game, each character that you encounter will be a real person, but rather than being an MMORPG style game having multiple servers with thousands of players, you will not be tied to a server and the players in your world will number only a few dozen. And you can play the whole thing on your own if you want to, which is brilliant for me because, as I've mentioned before, I despise online multiplayers. So I'm so glad that I can sit in a dark room on my own and play this for hours on end. It is going to be a survival-based game, but it was described as a more softcore survival, which means that death does not equal loss of progress or characters, which is great because I tend to be really bad at games like this when I first start them, so it's comforting to know that I won't be losing any progress the multiple times that I will die. Bethesda are also releasing a collector's edition of Fallout 76, which will include a fully wearable T-51 power armor helmet. And yes, before you ask, I already have mine on pre-order. The game itself will be available on 14th of November this year. We don't have too long to wait, people. Let's get hyped. Also announced was Fallout Shelter for the PS4 and the Switch, which is available now, and an update to Elder Scrolls Legends, the digital card game. It's had a complete overhaul. There were 2 new DLC packs announced for Elder Scrolls Online, so if you play that, make sure you get them. And a mobile game called Elder Scrolls Blades. This will be a console-quality RPG that you can play on mobile devices. It'll be available on iOS and Android later this year, but you can register now for early access, and you can play the whole thing in portrait mode, which is pretty cool. Other than that, we saw a teaser for a Doom sequel called Doom Eternal, which will debut at QuakeCon later this year. There was also a trailer for a new Wolfenstein game called Youngblood, which is set for release in 2018. This game will follow BJ's twin daughters and is set in 1980s France. Obviously, with this game following the twin daughters of BJ, you can play in co-op or alone. And again, I'm super excited for all the local co-op games that are coming out. I don't normally like Wolfenstein games, but I might have to get into the series in order to check this game out. It does look really cool. We also saw announcements for Wolfenstein on Switch and a new Wolfenstein VR game which is subtitled Cyberpilot. Prey will also be getting a huge new free update. It will contain a new story mode, new game plus, and survival mode. There will also be a new DLC called Moon Crash, which is unique in the fact that every time you play it, it will be different. And on top of that, a Prey VR game is on the horizon, and that is called Typhon Hunter. I wasn't really interested in Prey when it came out last year, but with all of these updates and new releases, I might have to check it out as well. Finally, we saw Rage 2 at last. Now, I know that this was the first thing in the conference and I've put it last. It's because I'm not really interested in the Rage games at all. I'm probably going to skip this one. I mean, it looks okay. It's got a nice open world and an interesting looking combat system, but I didn't really enjoy the first Rage, and I don't think Rage 2 will be different enough for me to want to try it again. But if you are interested in Rage 2, it is set for release of spring next year. And that is it for Bethesda's conference. There were some games in this show that I am really looking forward to. Elder Scrolls 6. It's always Elder Scrolls 6. I cannot believe it's actually happening. We've had it confirmed. Anyway, let me know what you guys thought of Bethesda's conference in the comments, and leave your questions for my Q&A later in the week there as well. If you've enjoyed this video, please give it a like, and as always, pour yourself a nice cup of tea and join me soon for more E3.